Philosophizing doodle. Yeah! I saw this all of the time when the local economy is supported by supply and demand. What is wrong with this economy? Just look and you will see that the respect emanating from the empty shops is a facade. The shops are screaming for people to come, but no one comes. This desperation screams of a dying economy that cannot become self-sufficient. In essence, supply and demand goes against self-sufficiency. This is because supply and demand is founded towards individualized respect, the personal desires of humanity, which makes our economy indirect towards the alignment of the universe. This indirectness from the mutual causality of the universe leads to an unsustainability in the form of pollution, violence, and alienation galore. Therefore, within a Partaceyist economy, we don't want to replicate supply and demand, but we want to replicate the physical force of respect that was described in Chapter 1 of the Partaceyist statement. Please watch the Partaceyist philosophy video to fully understand this video. Now that we are reviewing Chapter 2 of the Partaceyist statement, we can dive into how Partaceyist economics reflects the most fundamental of the finite aspects of the universe, which is respect. We need to have this in our economy to create the most socially productive economy possible. To do this, we should develop an economy built on the essence of mutual respect, or simply put, we need an economy built on mutual consensus. Since mutual consensus can be recorded by analyzing the ranks of products throughout each purchase done, mutual consensus can also demonstrate mutual collaboration between workers and customers to determine prices that no one person can personally control. In essence, mutual consensus is the glue that makes a Partaceyist economy possible. I will now let a guest speaker on this channel come and take the reins to describe the basics of the Partaceyist economy. Come up, Econ Cow! Moo! Within the Partaceyist economy, every product, every action holds a mix of mutual respect and individualized respect, and that balance can be measured just like math. For instance, if 3 people rate an apple by 4 out of 10, 6 out of 10, and 2 out of 10, how do we calculate this? Well, let's try it out. First, we'll need to add up the respectfulness variables, such as 4 plus 6 plus 2. And we'll need the end scales, just as 10, 10, and 10, because there are 3 different people, and they all need to be incorporated to make the system work. Therefore, the whole interaction of the 3 people evaluating the apple is 12 out of 30. To find the collective mutual respect of the 3 people, we divide 12 by 30, which will get a 0.4 or 40% mutual benefit that is within the interaction that we have described. If we minus 0.4 by 1, we will get 60% mutual disrespect, or the price of the interaction. But here's a twist. Everyone who rated the apple gets paid for contributing towards the value of the interaction as a whole. Within a Partaceyist economy, price and pay are separate. Price comes from the disagreement around a product, but the pay comes from how much mutual respect people gave the product. In essence, price is the absence of mutual consensus. In order to convert these respect percentages into USD, we'll need to use the federal minimum wage. This is because it is a unit that is consistent with time, since both emotions and USD require time to gain their value from. Therefore, the price would be 0.6 times 7.25 per hour, which would be $4.35 for the price that will be paid for someone trying to receive the apple within a store or facility. Since what matters is not the price, but it is the pay unto those who contribute. For that is the currency itself. Mutual respect is the currency. The disrespect is merely the price to be paid. Therefore, if more people contribute, increasing mutual respect, it is only innate that the price will decrease as the more contribute to the value of a singular product. Therefore, the pay converted to USD would be the 12 of the added respect valuations divided by the free people within the interaction. This will equal 4. You times that by the federal minimum wage, 7.25, equal $29 per person. Henceforth, within the Partaceyist economy, value is measured by how much we uplift each other rather than how much we want to gain from each other. Take it away, philosophizing doodle! Thank you, Econ Cow. Now let's look at luxuries and necessities within a Partaceyist economy, because luxuries work differently. For instance, if a Lamborghini's price goes from 80K to 100K, and it has a 60% disrespect, like the Apple example we had, we calculate the price through elasticity, showing how unstable luxury values can become. Above, we have an equation to calculate the price of luxuries. We start with the new value of 100K, subtracted by the old value of 80K, and divide that difference by the old value of 80K to get a remainder that can be then times by 100 to become a percentage to be aligned with the respect percentage of 60% disrespect. When you then times this 25% by the 60%, you'll get 15%, or the amount of price that the luxury has inflicted onto the value itself. When you times this amount by the new value of 100K of the Lamborghini, you'll get the total USD price of 15K, the converted amount from emotional currency to USD for the price of a Lamborghini that is 100K. That was once 80K. The result? Luxury items become less profitable because they serve fewer people with less mutual benefit or respect. That is how the Partacey discourages excess without banning it altogether. For pay, if we assume the same free people who contribute towards the value of the apple contribute for the value of the Lamborghini, then we can use the 12 divided by 3, which would equal 4 in this example, with the same respect valuations, of course. And if you times this by the 15% we got from the price of the Lamborghini within a percentile of respect currency, then we could times the two together, times by 100 to get rid of the fraction to equal 60 USD per person in the essence of pay for the individual within the act of buying the Lamborghini itself. Luxuries are valued differently from necessities, because necessities are what one should buy. Having the minimum wage while luxuries are above that threshold. Therefore, they should be valued differently so that the economy can realize that luxuries can be disrespectful in large amounts, and elasticity can be a core way to find out the disrespectfulness within the luxury, while necessities are key to all of life, a mutual respectfulness needed for all. But how do we scale this to millions of people? Well, we do this through AI recording the ranked opinions of society secured by blockchain encryption systems. Every time someone buys something, they rate it 1 out of 10. An impartial AI system collects this, calculating the mutual respect, price, and pay in real time. The pay within the system is secured and organized by a decentralized council called the Collective Rise. It fairly redistributes pay to all citizens based on publicly expressed mutual respect, ensuring equality without centralized control. Meanwhile, prices are recorded on a government-owned app based on the real-time opinions of customers and workers alike. True emotional opinion is needed in this case so that the recipients adding their own values to the app are free to rank the products and according to their will alone. An AI algorithm can add up these values and send them to organizations to establish prices in real time. Once a person finishes buying a product, the emotional currency equivalent of the price is deleted from the system of the economy, since the value of the price was not from the mutual respectfulness of the product, but its mutual disrespectfulness towards society. Therefore, it ought to be eliminated from the economy so that we can have better products for our environment and our society as a whole. In essence, this system cycles from people generating mutual respect onto products in which prices go to organizations to be deleted from the system, while pay is sent to Collective Rise to then within a week or two come back to society to fund the production of more mutually respectful products that can be valued by participants within the economy, restarting the cycle all over again. Also within the book, an important concept called neutrality is described, in which people decide on what opinions they want to have contribute to the economy or not, in any time of their choosing. If you want to see this system in a better light, we should look at a bridge opening and closing, showcasing the respectfulness within economics. Henceforth, the aggregate rules of the Partaceyist economy consists of when there's more mutual respect that is produced, the lower prices will become, reflecting the good developed by the production of more goodness within the economy, by making more mutually respectful goods and services more accessible to more people. This means that if less mutual respect is produced, then prices will inevitably increase to reflect the decrease of goodness within the economy and make these less mutually respectful goods and services less accessible to people for the common good of society. Henceforth, Partaceyism is not a utopia. It's a structured compassion made measurable through the systems of the Partaceyist economy. Also within a Partacey, debt becomes an opportunity, not a punishment within this economic system of Partaceyism. When you pay off your debt responsibly, you're not just clearing a balance, you're showing mutual respect to the lender. That respect is measured, and the Collective Rise pays both of you and the lender for it. So the better you treat your debt, the more wealth you'll actually gain. Loans work the same way if you're known for acting with mutual respect. you'll get lower interest rates because you and the lender earn more mutual respect from the collective rise when you both mutually respect each other. But if the lenders demand too much respect, the public can push back, deeming them disrespectful towards society, and apparently public opinion has economic power. Now let's talk about inflation. Most people fear that too much respect might flood this system, but respect doesn't behave like money. It's tied to action. Prices in a policy are limited. Each product must balance mutual respect and disrespect, adding up to one, or the product itself in value. So there's no runaway pricing, because no matter how you do it, it's all in percentages. So no matter what, the value will never surpass its true value. Prices exist, but not to drive profit. Instead, Partaceyist businesses thrive through donations and investments of mutual respect, which flow through the community based on how respectfully they act. This lets businesses lower prices because their survival doesn't depend on squeezing customers, and as prices fall, the pay of everyone rises with the collective rise. According to the social experiment of ranking people's level of love for things that was conducted by Arian Ahuvia, out of a 1 out of 10 system, love, when loosely defined, is consumed by individual preferences like clothing, food, and goods and services. This makes love more of a subjective ideal rather than an objective good. To make love objective, rules and standards like the Partaceyist economy are needed. If this is not done, then people lose their genuineness within their actions. Therefore, the rules of more mutual respect equal lower prices and vice versa, and forces a standard of objective real love in a marketplace that develops a mutually cooperative economy at the expense of individual wants, especially when those wants go against the collective good of society. In essence, our emotional opinions are objective when we put standards onto how we express our emotional opinions in a decentralized and free manner. That reflects the essence of respect. We can also have an objective love currency by allowing cultural context to dictate the objectivity of the emotional currency for any given society. Therefore, as more people generate more mutual respect, society grows richer not just in wealth, but in freedom. In the Partaceyist economy, debt is no longer a weight, inflation is no longer a threat, prices no longer control us, because respect, not profit, is the new foundation of wealth. And that, my friend, changes everything. And that concludes Chapter 2 of the Partaceyist Statement. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe!